You're back! Great. Let me guess. More questions?
Spooky how you could tell.
Though it harm none, do as thou wilt.
Okay.
I'm saying I guess it can't do any harm.
I've been going around asking everyone in town where they were on the night of the arson.
The night of the what?
Arson? At Hathorn House?
Why, I have no idea what you're talking about. Kidding, Nancy. Don't look so serious. I was here that night, doing my thing. I think there had to have been at least 20 people who can confirm that. It really stinks that Lauren is going to lose her home.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, of course.
So, I've heard ghosts are haunting Salem.
Of course.
You believe it?
How could I not when I've seen them with my own eyes?
Really? Can you describe what you saw?
Sure. It was dark, foggy. I was walking through the cemetery. Or was it the town square? I don't remember, but I do remember a ghost. No, multiple ghosts. Spirits.
And did you ever see any ghosts near Hathorn House?
As a matter of fact, I did. I told you that a coven of witches unleashed them on the town a few years back. They will not rest until they get their vengeance. Let me guess. You can't find proof of a living soul present at the house the night it burned. Maybe the culprit wasn't among the living?
That sounds even harder to prove.
Have you seen The Restless Souls of Salem, Nancy?
I've seen something, but I'm not willing to just believe it's real. I need more.
Be careful. They'll still find you whether you believe in them or not. You might want to avoid the cemetery.
3 days ago, were you doing any witch tours?
3 days ago? No, I was not.
Okay. You remember what you were doing?
Actually, I had won a spa holiday at the Wayfarer Inn over in Marblehead. It was amazing! They used those glass cup things on my back. It was wicked crazy.
Oh. You have any receipts or...
It was all expenses paid. And I'd show you my back, but I'm a quick witch powers. It looks like it never happened. You know, I had a flyer for the spa, but I threw it away this morning. Sorry, I know I'm not being helpful.
It's okay. You are. Thanks. I found this jacket.
Oh my gosh, where'd you find it? I've been looking for this.
It was in the Hathorn House.
Hathorn House? What was it doing there? I've never been there.
I don't know, but it had your business card in its pocket, so I knew it was yours.
What luck! That's great! Can I have it back?
Sure. See you later.
Nancy, hey, how's the investigation going?
Pretty well. You know, it would really help if I could get May to talk to me.
She hasn't given her alibi yet.
No, and everyone seems to have one, except her.
Everyone? Is it possible that it could be someone from outside of town? A visitor or something?
Absolutely. But statistically speaking, crime is rarely a random occurrence.
It's a mystery to me. You have anything you wanted to talk about?
What's the history behind the Hathorn estate?
Right. Well, Judge John Hathorn was born and raised in Salem. His father was a decorated military man who had many real estate holdings throughout New England. And when Judge Hathorne became a justice, he tried to expand those holdings. Much of the land that the Hathorne estate was built on was actually seized property from accused witches.
So awful. I think the land stealing part was even mentioned in Olivia's tour.
Didn't expect her to actually care about the history. At the time, no one made the connection, not even in court documents. But it happened.
Do you think the fire is somehow related to Salem's history with witches?
What do you mean?
Like, is it meant as a symbolic gesture? Because that's how most witches died?
That was a European thing. No, they were more civilized in the New World. We hung our witches. Short drop, so they slowly choked to death. A couple more died in custody awaiting trial, and one, an elderly man who refused to testify, was pressed to death.
Pressed?
Yeah. They put a bunch of heavy stones on top of you, over a period of days.
That's horrible.
She did not know the weight until she felt the freedom. Scarlet Letter. Also a descendant of Judge Hathorne. Except Nathaniel Hawthorne was so horrified with his family's history that he added a W to change it.
Wow. The focus on descendants isn't really something they teach you in school.
Yep. We think our world is so much more advanced now, but we have a hard time escaping our past.
Where were you on the night of the fire?
I was at my boyfriend's watching a movie. Here, this is his number. You can ask him.
Have you been dating Damien for a long time?
Yeah, a couple years, I think. I like him. I mean, I really do. He listens to me. Yeah, he's great.
Was he with you the whole night?
I mean, most of the night. I don't think he's capable of arson, if that's what you're suggesting.
You trust him?
Absolutely. 100%. Go ahead, call him. You'll see.
How did Francis Tuttle come to own the property?
Ms. Tuttle bought it 30 years ago, cheap. It was falling apart. The former owners couldn't be located, so it was auctioned. She was a bit of a kooky lady living in a ruin like that, but she was kind. I mean, she took in Lauren like a daughter. That says something about someone, doesn't it?
I agree. Deirdre only mentioned it in passing, but you and Olivia used to be friends?
We were, and I guess it doesn't hurt to mention that Lauren was a part of our little group as well. But that was years ago.
So you don't get along now?
Things changed.
Did something happen?
I don't see why this is relevant. Aren't you supposed to be clearing my sister's name? She doesn't need more blame for things she didn't do.
What did she get the blame for before?
This town wants someone to blame for everything. She's different and gets singled out.
I want to know more about anyone who might have a motive for the fire. Maybe you can help if you know them, even as old friends.
I guess. Go on.
What can you tell me about Olivia?
What can I tell you about Olivia? I can tell you that I think her shtick is ridiculous. And that she's doing this town a disservice by selling this silly idea of broomsticks in this double toil and trouble version of witches. This is a place of real history, and she wants it to be a theme park.
Do you think she would have burned down the Hathorne house?
I suppose it would be good for business. People love a ruin.
Especially a haunted ruin.
She is pretty happy lighting fires. But I don't know. I only want my sister cleared.
I know. We're getting there. I can't help but think about the rumor Olivia talks about. The coven.
You shouldn't pay any attention to her stories. She just says whatever she thinks the crowd wants. Real history isn't interesting to Olivia.
So you never heard this rumor elsewhere?
I didn't say that. There are no witches in Salem. Just showy frauds and stupid kids doing stupid things. Don't trouble yourself with ancient history and rumors. There's a real kid in trouble who needs your help.
What can you tell me about Lauren?
Lauren is a piece of work. Olivia may pretend to be a witch, but Lauren thinks she's a witch, you know? They are as bad as each other. The real legacy and history of Salem is what's important, not over-the-top stories and hokey potions and lotions.
So you don't go to her shop?
I've never been in, but I've had the tea. My advice? Stay away from the Sunaleaf. Can ruin your whole day.
Do you think she would burn down Hathorn House?
I don't know, maybe? If she thought it would help her stay on the grounds. She certainly doesn't want anyone else having it, even if there are historical and legal reasons. But like I said, I don't really know her that well anymore.
Do you remember what you were doing 3 nights ago?
3 days ago? Well, I was probably working here. Why?
You were working at the museum. Can anyone confirm that?
Well, I'm always here.
But was anyone else here?
May was home all day, laying low, and Olivia wasn't here either. I don't know where she was, to be honest. You'll have to ask her.
So no one can confirm that? And you're sure May was at home?
She's barely left the house since the incident. People here treat her like she has an infectious disease. It's awful. And I don't blame her if she wants to sit at home on her phone all day. Ugh. Her parents need to come home. Soon. So, I gotta ask. What do you get out of this?
I get a lot.
Really? You travel around, talk to all these people, deal with all their problems, put yourself in harm's way?
Not always. Alright, some of the time. I don't know. It's like there's these small obstacles that I enjoy working on, and they're interesting. But what I really love is the puzzle of humanity. What makes people tick? Why do people do what they do? It's always the hardest one to crack, because sometimes we do things that don't make sense. We're inherently irrational. Know what I mean?
You know, there's a theory about why these specific women were persecuted as witches. Some people believe that ergot, which is a fungus that grows in cereal grains, might have gotten into the food supply. It poisons anyone who eats it. Hallucinations, circulation issues, seizures. It would have made people look like they were possessed. Or made the judges think they were doing God's will. Or make the whole town go haywire.
A rational explanation for irrational behavior.
Just a theory. We'll never know. Anyway, I don't want to keep you. Thanks for stopping by.
Can you tell me about the accident May was in when she was a kid?
Why do you need to know that? How is it important?
I didn't think it was, but everyone else sees reason to believe May is the one who burned Hathorn House. So that makes it important, I know.
It started with the arson, and she has other convictions on her juvenile record as well.
What happened?
It was an old shed near our home. May was about 9 or so. She was in it one night. She shouldn't have been. Playing with candles, a lighter, I don't know. It caught fire. She was charged.
She was so young.
I feel responsible. She shouldn't even have been there, and I'm the older sister.
It's not your fault. I'm sorry to upset you. It helps me to understand.
Just don't talk to May about it, please.
Talk to you later.
Hello?
Is this Damien Faulkner?
Yeah? Who is this?
Hi, my name is Nancy Drew. I'm a private investigator currently working the Hathorn House case on behalf of Judge Danforth. Do you mind if I take up a minute of your time?
Go ahead.
Just wanted to follow up on some statements.
Statements made by who?
Tegan Perry,
Yes?
your girlfriend.
Right.
Where were you?
Sorry, but were these statements given to the police?
No. They were given to me, willingly.
Yeah, sorry. I work for Alicia, and I've learned to make sure that when you're being questioned, you always have a lawyer present. I don't want to sound like I'm guilty or complicit, I just know my rights.
Of course.
But you sound trustworthy.
Oh, thanks. How long have you worked for Alicia?
I've interned for her for a while, but she doesn't really pay attention to me.
You seem to know a lot about legal framework.
I listen to her on the phone. A lot. Anyway, I was with Tegan on the night of the fire. That's what you wanted to know, right?
Yeah. And what did you guys do?
Watched a movie.
Okay. Which movie?
Honestly, couldn't tell you. Tegan picks. You know, they're always some kind of vampire, drama, apocalyptic, teenagey, angsty thing. Don't tell her, but I'm into hard sci-fi.
Oh, good to know.
Anything else, or?
No. Thanks for talking to me.
Yep, sure. Bye.
Tegan, I was able to rule out some...
You need to come here, quickly! Something's happened.
I'll be right there. What happened?
How did it come to this?
Sorry, Ned. Come on, let's get inside.
So I didn't tell you everything. You know, it's just been really hard.
It's okay. I understand.
When I started working at the museum, I was curious about our town's history. Because I think history is the most important thing. Santayana said, those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. Right?
Of course.
Well, I found out something about my family. We changed our name. We used to be Paris.
Okay.
Samuel Paris and his daughter Betty were the first accusers of witches. They were directly responsible for the execution of numerous people. And they are part of my family.
Oh. But you're the
head of the AW organization. My family helped murder their ancestors. Which is why I've never told anybody, and now everyone knows.
Why do you think anyone would do this?
I don't know. Maybe it's someone else who wants the Hathorn house. No one in AW is going to trust me after this. And the evidence is gone. All of this for nothing.
It's going to be okay, Tegan. We'll figure it out. Hey guys, can you give me an update?
Hey guys, can you give me an update?
Nancy, I have missed talking to you. I need some rationality in my life.
Complaining about rationality is inherently irrational.
Right. What's going on? Everything okay?
Not really. I'm at the Perry house. Someone vandalized it with graffiti.
Really?
Turns out the Perrys are descendants of the Paris family. A family who was responsible for sending some of the accused witches to their deaths.
Wow, doesn't she run that justice group, Accused Witches?
Exactly. Explains why she's so dedicated to the cause. She knew and was trying to make things right, I guess.
So, someone is trying to embarrass the Perrys. Means our suspect is still in town.
Looks like. Have you found anything?
Nope. Nothing here. It's been dead quiet. It's a joke. We're, in a cemetery.
If you have to explain it, it's not a joke.
I get it. Listen, things are a little tense here, so I'm gonna stay with Tegan. Can you update me if you find anything, please?
No problem, partner. Western joke. I mean, we haven't really discussed the whole detective partnership thing yet, so...
Frank, not a good time.
Right. Talk soon.
If you're done being awkward, I could use your help.
What? not awkward.
Whatever you say, partner.
Let's finish our search and get out of here, okay?
Sure, but don't rush. We're here to prove the existence of ghosts. That requires steady patience.
And steady equipment. Speaking of which, how are we doing on that front?
All set. I'll use the antenna to search for suspicious cold spots while you move around with the Ghost Wavelength Spectral Analyzer 2.5 and look for disturbances from the other side.
The spectral analyzer? Anyway, are you sure it actually works?
Of course. I built it myself. The device has a top-of-the-line scanner that can detect any disturbances. It might not have found anything yet, but you'll have to stay optimistic about these things.
And I guess this ghost hunting notebook is homemade too?
Thoroughly researched. But yes, it is. Found a new cold spot. You should move over there.
On it. Adjusted the scanner, but it shows no real signs here. Are you getting any other signals?
Let me check.
There's nothing here. What? Hey, what's this?
What is it? What is it? Is it a ghost?
Oh, no. Well, it seems like some sort of machine. But what's a device like this doing in a graveyard? Something's up.
Oh, that's a motion detector. How weird is that?
All right, put your equipment down. Your plan didn't work. Now we're tracking this so-called ghost my way. Let's see what else we can find.
But I just finished setting everything up. Fine. My eyes are peeled.
Should we really be doing this? I'm already having second thoughts.
Of course we should, Worrywart. What is Nancy gonna think if we return empty-handed because you chickened out?
That's not... I am not scared, Joe. We are doing this.
Onwards! Check out the spooky jack-o'-lantern. Innocent Halloween prank or sinister scare.
In the dark, it can easily be mistaken for something supernatural.
Looky here, an affordable but effective fog machine. Should be able to cover this whole part of the forest in a layer of mist. Whatever happened to good old natural hauntings?
There's nothing natural about our findings here. This reeks of foul play. There's a strange powder on the ground. Ashes. Judging by the remnants, herbs were burnt here.
Like incense? Could be something spiritual, could be something bigger. Let's see what else we find.
Rope. This was used to make something move to or from the branches.
Motion detector, fog machine, pumpkin head.
Rope, burnt incense. Well, you finally going to admit you were wrong?
Of course not. All we've proven is that there are no ghosts here.
So you still think ghosts exist?
I think we can't prove they don't not exist.
Say that again?
Look, the absence of proof does not mean that we can disprove their existence, but what it does tell me is that what Nancy saw was not a real ghost.
So who has something to gain by setting up a fake haunting?
Olivia.
Olivia. There's gotta be some evidence linking her to this. There's no way she brings gear here every night. She must have a stash.
But where?
Why don't we just ask her? To the museum.
We've got what we came here for. Next stop, the museum.
Hey, before we do this, shouldn't we call Nancy?
What? Why?
Because we're a team. We should check in with her.
Let Nancy do her thing and we'll do ours.
Oh, so what is our thing exactly?
Ghost busting. Hey, look! A list of mysterious symbols. There's a gravestone map on the back. If this isn't suspicious.
I don't see Abigail Hathorne Woodley's grave on here, though. Would have been too easy. No matter, we'll find her. Is that a box underneath the gravestone?
Wait, I've got this! This is good evidence. Aren't you glad we broke into the museum?
No, not really.
But look at this! I'm going to go ahead and guess that this will decipher the paper we found in the gift shop. Check it out.